Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the second session on selection criteria of BLACKIS. So we have discussed about IIM A, B, C uh, last in the last session, and today we are going to talk about LIK, that is Lucknow, Indore, and Kozhikode. So we all know IIM ABC, that is Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Kolkata. They primarily came up in 1960s, and uh, they were the only three IIMs still around the start of 1990s. That is when IIM Lucknow came in, and post that IIM Indore came and Kozhikode came. These six IIMs, the six oldest IIMs, are also among the top six IIMs today. And all the IIMs which came after these, typically you can say in the current century. Most all of them came in 21st century, except IIM Mumbai, which of course used to be a brilliant B school by the name of NITI, and they were upgraded, or rather the central government who any which ways owned that college changed them to IIM, and accordingly the funding changed, accordingly the you can say the facilities and everything changed. Right. So except IIM Mumbai, all other IIMs are by and large the 21st century IIMs, and they are comparatively new to the Blackie. So we are going to talk about Lucknow, Indore, and Kozhikode today. And we also know that Lucknow has already released its shortlist as we talk today. Day before yesterday, they have done that. Uh, no, so, yesterday only they have done that, Lucknow. And Kozhikode has also given its stage one shortlist, post which they will be giving a calls for PI to the students who will fill up the form and meet their requirement accordingly. Yeah. So let's go ahead. So in the last session, we discussed the basic requirements for CAT, and they remain the same for the other IIMs as well, whether it is Lucknow, Indore, Kozhikode, or whether we are talking about, let's say, Shillong, Udaipur, Jammu, Kashipur, even the upcoming IIM Guwahati. The basic requirements to give CAT remain the same, right? And basically, you should be either in your final year, graduating in the year 2026, or you should have graduated by now with minimum 50% marks in graduation. If you come from categories like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, or people with disability, in that case, 45%. For OBC, NC, for EWS, for general category, it's 50% only. So the education should be of minimum 3 years after completing a class 12 or an equivalent, or a 10 plus 2, or whichever way it is known as an intermediate class or something. Right? The percentage of 50% should be as per your university, or as per your institute rules and regulations only. Okay. So there are some colleges which might, let's say, give higher weightage to third year or fourth year, uh, let's say marks to first year or second year. In case of a 4-year degree, I'm talking about, then that will be taken care accordingly, right? So if you have CGPA, then it will be as per the formula, which is certified. The percentage will be as per the formula certified by your institution or your university. Please make sure you collect this certified copy. It will help you a lot going forward when you are joining IIM, or in case of even in case of your document verifications during your jobs as well. Okay. Most of you who will be still in college, uh, it's easy for you to contact your college different departments, and accordingly collect it from the admin team, or from the registrar office, or the examination controller office of your university. Many universities already printed behind your mark sheet, uh, in which case it is already formal, but if they don't, please make sure you collect the same officially. In case they don't have it, and only in case they don't have it, then all the IIMs will consider it multiplying it by 100 and dividing by your maximum possible CGPA. Please understand, in case your university issues the certificate and you don't submit it, somebody else does, then this will account to unfair means on your part. And IIMs have full right to blacklist you for further admissions as well. So please don't do that. If case your university issues a certificate, please get that done. Okay. All right. So your examination, including if any ATKT, any supplementary, complementary examination, should get over before June 30th, 2026 if you want to join this year. And the final mark sheet and a provisional degree, even if not a final degree is awarded by then, a provisional degree should be awarded by 31st of December 2026. Final degree, we know, usually comes in convocation, which can happen any time later as well. Okay. Okay. So again, preliminary screening will be based on CAT, and you need to score a positive score in raw score, not in scaled score, in all the three sections to be considered for IIMs. Okay. Now, IIM Lucknow has given the minimum sectional and total percentile for cutoff, and these are the minimum. Meeting this does not mean a call. But if you don't meet any of these criteria, you will not get a call for this particular course. Okay? Please understand that. So you need to score a minimum of, let's say if you are from general category, a minimum of 80%, 5 percentile, 85 percentile in all three sections with a total of 90 percentile overall for their general MBA. Below this, you will not get a call, but above this, you will get a call is not certain. That will depends on various other parameters on the composite score. Okay, then they will make a merit on composite score basis various categories, and basis that they are going to give the calls. So be mindful of that. Okay. So in any case, if you are from a general category below 85 percentile, IIM Mumbai, IIM Lucknow will not give you a call. If you are EWS under general category, 77 is the minimum cutoff for the calls which you can expect for the Agri Business Management course or the mbaexams course. Okay. Now, how is composite score calculated? So the first thing is your CAT scaled score, not percentile. Okay, please understand. They will take your CAT scaled score and divided it by the highest CAT score of 2025 on their website, because this is a screenshot from their website. They have mentioned higher CAT score of 2024. Please understand, this is a typo from them. Maybe they have not updated it. It is highest CAT score of 2025. And because the weightage is 60% to CAT score, they will multiply this by 60%. So they are not going to consider your percentile for this weightage. They are going to consider your scaled score, and it matters a lot here. Okay, because this is 60% weightage. So let's say you got 99 percentile and you got a scaled score which is maybe 70% of the highest scaled score received overall. So you got 70% weightage into 60, which is 42 marks typically for this. Okay, which is a very high level. In fact, a 99 percentile usually score less than 70 percentile overall as well, sometimes not necessary. Okay. Coming to the HSC marks, which is class 12th marks. So what they do, they will take data of 5 years basis the students who have applied for CAT. For 5 years for that particular board, they will take, and particular discipline means commerce, science, arts, they will take 5 years data, which is basis the CAT applications. And basis that they'll see what is your percentile position there in 5 years of students on an average. So you might say, sir, I am from, let's say, just let me take randomly, maybe Karnataka board. And you might say, sir, Karnataka board is typically tougher than Telangana board, and we get less marks. So there will be bias against us if I say 85% marks and the Telangana board guy says 92% marks. No, there will be no bias, because if Telangana, usually the overall scores goes into 90%, whereas in a Karnataka board it goes maybe between 85 to 95. You will be given appropriate weightage basis the percentile. So that is how they will calculate the 12th class marks and give you accordingly weightage. Okay. For graduation, it will be basis the discipline: engineering, science, commerce, arts, and others. Okay. So here they will take mean of previous 5 years for graduates in engineering from any college or university. It will not be specific to your college or your university. Please understand that, because they might not have too much data for a single college. Whereas in a board, yes, there are not many boards in India. We typically have maybe 3 national boards plus state-wise boards. But in terms of universities or colleges, we have hundreds of them. There are a good number of autonomous colleges in India, in addition to university, deemed to be universities, and so on. Right? So here they'll go as per discipline. Whether you are from engineering, science, commerce, arts, and others. These are the 5 disciplines they have basically divided that into. Next comes work experience. So work experience is considered in months. So if you have more than 6 months work experience, you will be given a weightage typically for MBA program. Whereas if you are for ABM, that is agribusiness management, there is as such no weightage for work experience. If you are for a sustainability management course, you will be given weightage if you have more than 2 years of work experience. Again, as I said previously, this is again a screenshot from IIM Lucknow website. And again, they have not updated the number of completed months of WorkX they'll consider as of July 31, 2025. Something which you have entered in CAT. Okay, so they'll go basis the same. The next comes diversity factor. Now, in diversity factor, if basically there are 2 types, one is academic diversity, the other is gender diversity. So if when we are talking about academic diversity, in that case, if you come from a non-engineering degree, you will be given 5 marks. Non-engineering. Okay. And if you come from any other discipline, means engineering basically, you will be given 0. For agri-business management, we will talk about the academic discipline for 20 marks. There are few degrees which are given full 20 marks. We will talk about that in the next slides. In case of gender diversity, if your gender is female, you are given 5 marks, or else you are given 0. So typically we see that around 10 marks in case of you can say MBA, in case of the sustainability management MBA, 10% weightage, and in case of agribusiness MBA, 25% weightage is given to academic diversity and gender diversity. So male engineers have a you can say a disadvantage here of about 10% in the case of the general MBA as well as sustainability management. But that does not mean that they will not get calls. Okay, they usually score very high as well in their CAT scores, and they get a very good advantage in their CAT scores as well. So still a good number of engineers make through very nicely in all the IIMs. Please understand, these weightages are given to those people who need the weightage. Okay, for diversity, because general engineer males, or rather the engineer males, are still among the best scoring you can say community overall. Okay, so That is one of the major reasons that all the IIMs, not only Lucknow, by and large give some weightage to non-males as in well and also to non-engineers. So when we talked about the agribusiness management, so if you are from any of these degrees in your graduation, you will be getting full 20% weightage in academic diversity. Now, by and large, you can see all these degrees are directly or indirectly related to agriculture. Okay. So even in sciences, they include all the biologies part, which is not directly but indirectly linked, you can say, to agriculture. Veterinary science is linked to agriculture in a very big way. So is animal husbandry, fisheries, dairy science. Then the engineering part of agriculture, engineering, dairy technology, food technology management, forestry, horticulture, rural science, rural sociology, rural cooperative, rural banking. All these are related to the rural or agricultural based economies, and that's why they are given weightage here. Okay. All right. So eventually a final composite score is calculated after your VAT PI. Okay. So this, what we talked about, this composite score, this is for your first stage calls. That is the shortlist for VAT PI, which as I said, IIM Lucknow has already given yesterday. Once your VAT PI are done, the final weightage will be basis this particular table. So 30% weightage will remain with CAT, 5% weightage with your 12th performance, 5% with your graduation performance. And the calculation for this weightage will be same as what was for the PI VAT stage round. Means same, they will check the percentile of your overall performance in the respective board or in the respective academic field for your graduation. Okay. In case of diversity factor, the scoring will now reduce to 5% overall. Okay. From 10% in general MBA and the sustainability management, and from 25% in agri, it will come to 5%. Okay. And the work experience will be 5% for sustainability management and general MBA. There is no weightage in agribusiness management. 10% weightage to both for written ability test and 40% in personal interview. Also remember one thing very clearly. In personal interview, there are few parameters in which you will be checked. And if you score less than desired marks in any of those parameters, which are not declared by IIM Lucknow, even if your overall score is very high, you will not get a final call. Okay. So just like the minimum cutoffs of CAT are required. Okay, you might get maybe 100 percentile in CAT, but you lack, let's say, in one sectional, then also you will not get a call. Similarly, in PI, if they have five parameters and you score 100% in four parameters, you score 100% in CAT, in academic performance, diversity, VAT, work experience, everything. But if you do not clear the cutoff in the fifth parameter of PI, you will not get a final call. Okay, that is one thing which all IIMs have mentioned. In fact, not only IIM. Okay, so I think there is a question by Daily Life Tips. Okay, which time center is better, Nagpur or Bhopal? See, all the time centers all over India, whether you go for offline, whether you go for online, in terms of live courses, or you go for recorded courses, we follow by and large same methodology. The the maybe the faculty member facing you might be different, but yes, overall the handouts are same all over India. The course structure is same, and hence I'll say the overall, if you ask me, all the centers are by and large the same. So you need to decide basis maybe your convenience, which one is closer to you, because whichever center you join in, because you have talked about two offline centers, whichever out of the two you join in, it should be based on the convenience for you to join in, and you should not skip any classes. So decide on the basis of the city where you will be living at least till CAT, and I'll say at least till the next GDPI, GWPI phase of next year, so that you get full support from that center for your preparation. Yeah, all the best. Okay, so let's move to the next IIM, which is IIM Indore. So these are the minimum scores given by the IIM Indore for calls. And as I said, for the other IIMs as well, the same point holds valid here as well. This is minimum cutoff criteria. This clearing these criteria does not guarantee a call. Okay, it is based on many parameters, but this is a minimum requirement. If you get, let's say, 79.99 percentile in QA and you are from general category, you will not get a call even if you meet all other criteria. So this is the minimum requirement which you have to meet. Does not mean a necessary means a necessary call. Okay, be mindful of that. This goes for all IIMs. This goes for nearly all colleges who have a cutoff criteria, whether it is on sectional, whether it is on overall CAT percentile basis. Now, so how do they do? IIM Indore calculates their shortlist. So here again, they, just like IIM Lucknow, they also calculate basis the last 3 years CAT data. Okay, so you can see here they use the normalization method. I'll go back to that slide. We'll talk about in detail. They use normalization process. Okay, for 10th and 12th, and basis that normalization process, they give you weightage. So your score minus the minimum score which student have scored as per the CAT database divided by the maximum minus minimum. This is how they get your normalized score, and a 10% weightage is given to your class 10th score. A 25% weightage, 25% weightage is given to your 12th score. They multiply it by 25. Okay. In case of CAT, now in IIM Indore does not weight CAT scores, does not rate CAT scores equally. They give different weightage to different sections. In fact, you can see directly here, QA is given higher weightage than VARC and DIM. So your scaled score divided by the highest score, scaled score of that year will be considered. For VARC, they'll multiply it by a weightage of 16. For DILR, a weightage of 16. For quant, they will multiply it by a weightage of 23. So quant typically has nearly 50% higher weightage as compared to VARC and DILR, nearly 50%. Okay. So quant is very much essential for an IIM Indore. 7 weightage for diversity factor, what it is, we'll come to that. And 0 to 3 means typically a 3 weightage for work experience. So the total of all these 5 parameters will become your composite score, and basis that you will get the initial shortlist for PI. Okay. So your 10th score is based on the normalization process. Also, they have very categorically mentioned that if you are not able to give 10th due to any reason, especially the COVID, because many students during COVID time have not appeared for 10th and they were given a pass score. In that case, the 10% weightage will be pro rata basis split between your CAT sectional scores and your 12th score. So if you are, let's say, got a promotion directly in 10th because of COVID without any examination, which happened in COVID in some boards and some places, in that case, your weightage will be split between CAT sectional scores and 12th class scores. If the same happened for you for your 12th class, in that case, again, it will be split on pro rata basis between 10th and your CAT sectional scores. Okay. Okay. So Diversity factor, again, these 7 marks are given to non, you can say males as well as non-engineers. Okay. Work experience, they typically peak at 36 months, wherein you will get full 3 marks. If you are below that, you will get below that. Okay. So, basis this, they'll come to the your PI round. After your PI round, a final composite score will be calculated. So now 10th and 12th will have equal weightage of 5%. But now the tables are reversed. Now the weightage will be given more to VARC, in fact double of quant or DI. Means same as quant plus DILR weightage in terms of sectional scores. Plus they'll be giving 45% weightage to your PI and 5% to diversity. Again, in PI, you need to clear the minimum, you can say cutoff in every criteria which they'll be rating at, which they have not mentioned. Okay. The sum of all this will be your final composite score, basis which you will be getting a final admission call to IIM Indore. Okay. So PI you need to attend. Again, just see the second line. They expect consistent and minimum performance in various parameters. These parameters will be decided by them. And if you do not meet minimum performance in any of those parameters, even a single one of those parameters, you might be brilliant in all other things. They will not consider you for giving a final admission. Okay. All right. Now let's come to the final IIM in terms of the BLACKIS. Okay, so IIM Kozhikode. Now again, these are the minimum eligibility criteria to get a call from IIM Kozhikode. Also, understand same thing which was mentioned for CAT as well, that your 10th and 12th overall marks will be considered irrespective whether your board considers them or not. Like CISE, the Council for Indian School Certificate Examination, for their class 10th examination, which is known as ICSC, okay, Indian Certificate for Secondary Education, they take best 5 out of 6, which will definitely include English. But CAT will take all 6. Your grade for your for socially useful productive work will not be considered here, but your marks for other subjects will be considered. Same goes for their ISC exam, that is class 12 Indian School Certificate, wherein they will take the board considers best 4 out of 5 including English, but here they will consider all 5. Okay. So here they have clearly mentioned overall 85 percentile with 75 plus percentile score in all the 3 sections. Again, these are the minimum requirement. Clearing these does not mean a guaranteed call. This means you will be considered, but this does not mean that you will be given a call for second stage. No. Now, how they calculate their composite score? So 50% weightage is given to CAT, 15% to your class 10, 20 to class 12, 10% to gender diversity, 5% to academic diversity. And you can get one of these two. You cannot get both of them. Either you can claim that you are a non-male or non-engineer. If you are, let's say, both, in fact, the academic diversity here is not for non-engineer. That is actually for CA, CS, ICWA. So even if you are a female CA, CS, ICWA, you will get 10%. If you are a male CA, CS, ICWA, you will get 5%. If you are a female engineer, you will get 10%. Okay, that's how it works. And work experience, 5%. So CAT scaled score from 3 sections with equal weightage. Okay, like IIM Indore, we have seen gave different weightages, but IIM Kozhikode will give equal weightage to calculate their CAT index score. So all these will consider the scaled score. Okay, not the percentile. So you might get 99.99 percentile, let's say. They'll not give you weightage on that. They'll give you weightage. Let's say you scored 80% of the total scaled score. Just for an example, I'm taking. You'll get, let's say, 80% only here. Okay. Even if you, let's say, score 100 percentile and you have scored maybe, let's say, 90% of scaled score, you'll get 90%, not 100. Again, class 10, 12, or your equivalent, basically, this will be aggregate of all the marks will be considered. And they'll be adjusting by dividing the respective board's highest percentage score. Again, this will be based on data of last 3 years of the students who have applied to CAT. So IIMs, because every year nearly 3 lakh students apply for CAT, like this year 2,56,000 appeared, but the form fields were nearly 2,90,000 plus. Last year they were around 3,30,000 plus. Last year around 3,19,000 forms filled. So they have data for a good number of students, right? So they take data from your board as per those students who have applied and filling the marks accordingly. So basis that your equivalent percentage will be calculated. It will not be from 100, but typically basis the maximum marks. In case your board gives 100 marks, percent marks as well, which I think CBSE gives among others, then of course the situation will remain the same. Okay. So same goes for class 12. This is the respective board. They will be adjusting the score, multiplying it by the weightage. Okay. And again, the CAT applicants data for past 3 years, that is CAT 23, 24, 25 data will be used to calculate your equivalent marks. Okay. In case of gender or academic diversity, so gender diversity, the female or transgender, or you can say non-males, basically will receive a gender diversity score of 10. Okay. Non-engineers, as I said, will score 5 here. Okay. It's non-engineers basically will score a score of 5. Provided you have minimum 60% marks in your non-engineering degree. However, as I said, you can receive either 10 marks for your gender diversity or 5 marks for your academic diversity. You cannot claim both. It's not about claiming actually. It's about IIM Kozhikode giving. So you cannot get both. You will get one of the two only. Okay. So typically non-males will get 10 marks, which holds more weightage. Okay. So only male engineers will get 0 here. Again, as I said previously as well, they are not at disadvantage. But because they perform good in other parameters overall, the others need to be given some weightage to come to their level. Okay, so don't get disheartened that you are at disadvantage. No, the others are given additional marks to diversify the batch size. Engineers still, you can say in terms of BLACKIS, are still more than 40% in every campus. And to accommodate non-engineers as well, they are given these particular weightage. And female ratio we know is still lower as it should be. Ideally, the female and transgender typically should be in the range of 45 to 55 overall as per their population ratio. But unfortunately, even after giving weightage, it is not. Right? And that is why the IIMs want them to come up. They want a equality as well in terms of overall gender diversification. So work experience will depend, have a 5% weightage depending on your length of service. Okay, how they calculate it, we'll come to that also. For WorkX, only full-time work experience after your graduation or after your professional degree, that is CA, CMA from ICW or CS will be considered. Your part-time, your projects, your internship, articleship, uh, even any work experience, pre-graduation or fellowship, which is very common for CA, CS, ICWA, will not be considered. Anything below 6 months overall will not be considered. You will not be given any weightage below 6 months. In case you want to show that you have a self-employment or a partnership experience. Okay. In that case, you need to show at least two of the following documents, including your tax returns. Okay. But minimum two documents from these plus your tax returns. Okay. So they are registered partnership deed. It's if it is a partnership, certificate from Ministry of Corporate Affairs or Registrar of Companies for registration, GST registration of your company, your audited statements for at least last 2 years, not for 1 year, it will work, at least last two continuous years, or the Department of Policy Promotion certificate of recognition. Any two documents out of these five plus tax returns. Plus tax returns. Okay, if you want to show, let's say, 3 years experience, you need to give those documents to show 3 years of sustainability in terms of your job. And the date, the later date of these documents will be considered as your start date for experience. Please understand. Okay, so all those students for who are planning to give CAT in maybe 26, 27, and they are planning to go for IIM Kozhikode and they are into let's say self-employment, please make sure you have these these documents handy right from the date when you start working. Because if you get yourself a registration done, let's say after 6 months, you lose 6 months of work experience in terms of calculation by IIM Kozhikode. So this is a table for work experience. So as you can clearly see here, between 35 to 36 months, it peaks at 5 score. And beyond 5 years, it again goes to 0. Okay. So 6 months to 60 months or 5 years is the work experience which is typically considered by IIM Kozhikode to give you weightage. The peak is at 35 to 36 months. Below 6 months, it is 0. Beyond 60 months, it is 0. Again, the cutoff is July 31st, 2025 for the academic year 26-28. Same as your CAT form. Okay. Now, coming to final score computation. So 35% weightage is given to your CAT 25 index score with equal weightage to all the three sectionals basis the overall scaled score. 35% weightage is given to your personal interview. And again, you need to clear the minimum cutoff in every criteria as per the IIM Kozhikode computation. 20% weightage is for VAT and 10% to your resume. So your VAT PI resume becomes very important here. There is no weightage to academic diversity, gender diversity, class 10, 12th or graduation marks for the final score computation. That is the final calls. Okay, so once you get an IIM Kozhikode call, the criteria which are very much relevant are your PI, your VAT and resume, in addition to CAT, of course, which remains valid. Okay, so IIM Kozhikode has already given you forms to fill for the stage 1 shortlist. That is what a resume score is coming from by and large. Please make sure you fill it nicely. If you have any issue, any problem, please contact your nearest time center tomorrow early morning. Okay. Before the last date runs out, before you submit the form, please make sure you discuss it with one or the other faculty member at any of your nearest time center, and the faculty members are there to help you out to fill those forms, to help you to convert your initial shortlist to a GDPI or a VAT PI call. And then, of course, they are there to help you for VAT PI as well. Okay. Whether you are a time student, whether you are not a time student, you can always contact a time center. They are there to help you out. So, in terms of resume evaluation, so if you are a CA, if you are a CS, if you are a ICWA, or if you have completed CFA level 1, 2, 3, any of those levels, you will get a score of 5. Otherwise, you'll get 0. So academic diversity, gender diversity does not get any weightage here. But if you are a CA, CS, or ICWA, which is CMA, or you are a CFA, even CFA level 1, you will get 5% weightage here for final calls. Final calls, not for the initial interview shortlist. Okay, IIM Kozhikode gives that weightage to. Okay, all right then. That's it from my side. All the best to all of you. As I said, all time centers uh, are there to help you out. Uh, if you are preparing for IIM or CAT, let's say 26, 27, you can contact any of the time centers with nearby. You can log on to our website www.timeforeducation.com. You can even log in or enroll for our online programs, which include both a flexi program as well as live programs. Even for GDPI, if you are targeting the IIMs this year and you are expected to get calls, we have GDPI programs, GWPI programs all over the country. And if you have received any of the IIM calls, the course fee for you is only 500 rupees. So please contact your nearest time center or log into our website, and we are there to help you out for your journey, for your preparation to the IIMs. Okay. And all the very best to all of you. And thank you.